Before the world wakes, before the noise begins, before anyone asks anything of him, Henry opens his workshop door. 72 years old, bones stiff, hands weathered, heart carrying more names than most people ever know. These hands have lifted children in prayer, lowered loved ones into the ground, and clung to God on nights when heaven felt very far away. Pause. The world outside has forgotten how to wait, but inside this workshop, time still bows. Dust floats through the morning light like unanswered prayers not forgotten. Just waiting. Henry runs his fingers across the workbench and whispers the verse his father taught him as a boy. The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Psalm 138, he doesn't say it loudly. Faith at this age doesn't shout. It survives. And for 47 years, Henry fixed what others abandoned. Broken chairs, cracked doors, worn tables, and quietly unbroken people. Men who felt useless, fathers who felt ashamed, widowers who didn't know how to keep breathing. Then one day, the work stopped coming. The world decided it didn't need old men anymore. Henry never argued. He just kept showing up, because his Bible never said purpose expires. Pause. That morning, a note waited on the door. Sir, I was told you still know how to fix things the right way. I hope this isn't too late. Henry folded the paper like scripture, slipped it into his pocket, and closed his eyes. Here I am, Lord, he whispered. If you still have use for me. The house was small, tired, holding on. A boy sat on the porch clutching a broken wooden clock. My grandpa made it, the boy said. He died last winter. It stopped ticking the night he went to heaven. Henry knelt. Not just because his knees were weak, but because humility always kneels. He held the clock like a relic. Inside, the gears were worn, misaligned, exhausted. Henry felt something tighten in his chest. He knew this feeling, because Scripture had warned him. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he who will sustain you. Isaiah 46, for Henry worked slowly. Every movement a prayer, every breath an offering. Memories flooded in. Teaching his son to hold a hammer straight, praying over his daughter when the world scared her, holding his wife's hand as her breathing faded, and learning that faith doesn't stop loss, but it keeps loss from having the final word. When the clock was closed, Henry hesitated. He wound it once, then waited. Tick, silence, then tick. The sound filled the room like resurrection. The boy gasped. It's alive, he whispered. Henry swallowed hard. No, he said softly. It was never dead. Just waiting. Not as Henry packed up, the boy asked the question that men carry their whole lives. Mister, do you ever feel like God is finished with you? Henry looked at his hands. Hands that disciplined in love. Hands that built a home. Hands that buried dreams and kept believing anyway. No, Henry said. I feel like I finally understand him. Because Scripture says, gray hair is a crown of glory it is gained in a righteous life. Proverbs 16:31. That night, Henry returned to his workshop and left the light on. The next morning, notes covered the door. Not from people chasing speed, but from those desperate for wisdom. Because legacy doesn't scream, it whispers. Through faithfulness. Through endurance. Through men who stayed when quitting was easier. Slow, powerful close. Henry learned the truth late in life. Purpose doesn't retire, fatherhood never ends, and God does his deepest work in the later chapters. Every morning before dawn, Henry unlocks the door. Not because he must, but because, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you'll carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. Long silence. God is not finished, and neither are you.